Recently, I discussed how an overhyped Tesla share price affects almost all investors because Tesla's absurd valuation has put it into the stock indexes like the S&P and Nasdaq that are the basis for how index funds select the stocks they buy. The point being that at least to a small extent, everyone is going to be a victim of the Tesla pump and dump. At this moment, there's a lot of dramatic statements going around about how Tesla could be out of business in weeks. That's not likely to happen, but a decline in Tesla's share price and a decline in Elon's net worth and ability to access ready cash is probably going to happen much faster than his fortune was built. That's because things like leverage. Elon leveraged his shares to borrow money. That's the obvious way the decline can be faster than the rise. If the value of his shares fall below 2 or 3 times the value of his margin loans, he gets what's called a margin call and must provide more collateral or have his shares sold out from under him. But as Tesla becomes a smaller part of the total valuation of shares on an exchange, it also must become a smaller part of the index funds. That is, as the valuation of Tesla declines, all of the index funds have to start selling Tesla shares to rebalance their funds. That isn't strictly speaking leverage, it's not about debt, but more generally, you could call it gearing. Part of this gearing that fuels acceleration on the way down is leverage. Part of it is structural, like we just talked about as components of index funds. And part of it is the financial linkages across Elon's businesses. If he can't afford to keep XAI running, that valuation will decline. If he can't afford to build enough starships to make it obvious that's not going to work, the valuation of SpaceX collapses, and so on. This isn't going to happen this week or even next month, but it is plausible that Elon, while he will never be poor, will be just some ordinary tech bro who got rich from PayPal. Maybe he can be one of the hosts of the All In podcast. Do people still listen to that?